All right, it's that time again for the Austin, Texas real estate market update. Let's go. All right, we're jumping in on the data for January 2024. Now, man, some crazy stuff has been happening in the Austin, Texas market, the Central Texas market from Georgetown down to San Marcos. The last couple of years have just been volatile, to say the least, a little crazy. And we have no lack of that from December to January. January numbers just came out and man, it's loco. It's just crazy out there on what's going on. So we're going to take a look at what's happened month to month, where we've been, where we're going. So stay tuned towards the end because I'll give you a clearer picture on whether you should be buying or selling real estate right now. Let's jump in. Okay, so the data that we're looking at comes from the Austin Board of Realtors. This is important because a heavy majority of all transactions occur within the Austin, Texas Board of Realtor multiple listing service. And so this gives us clarity on what's really going on. Now, the reason I do the videos is because that data trends year over year. They're tracking trends of data year over year. But what's really important is what's happening month over month. And so because I do the videos monthly, this is the clearest picture you can get on what's actually going on. Okay, so before I jump into the December to January data, let's take a super quick snapshot on where we've been. Now, the market peaked in May of 2022. I'm looking at my wall of fame here on data here, and the median price point in Travis County got up to $659,000. in May of 2022. Now the subsequent 7 months of depreciation saw upwards of 30% depreciation in value in just 6 months. So we saw a huge correction in 2022, and then January of 2023, the market began to stabilize, and we saw that. It stabilized for January and February, it nudged downwards, and then it stabilized, and then it was a little up, and then a little down, and so bottom line for 2023, Travis County was plus 5% for the year. Williamson County was minus 3% for the year. Okay, plus 5% for the year on Travis County, minus 3% for the year on Williamson County. Took me a second there. So overall, we nudged a little upwards for both counties, and then January of 2024 happened. Okay, so we're in February. The previous month's data always comes out mid-month. Sometimes it takes them longer, and we were a little concerned as far as what was going to happen because some weird things were happening. Travis County, November to December, the market nudged upwards. Travis County, December to January, down 9%. So for Travis County, down 9%, 9% in 1 month. So for December, Travis County, $527,000 for the median price point. For the month of January 2024, $478,000 for the median price point in Travis County. That's a huge drop in median value. Well, let's take a look at a few more of the micro statistics to understand maybe why this is happening and what's going on and where we're going. For Travis County, new listings are up 500 homes. So in January, we're seeing a heavy trend of people coming to market. Now, as somebody who lists a lot of property and deals with a lot of sellers and investors, we hear often in the holiday season, I'm going to wait until after the holidays. And that's what we saw in January, a huge influx of people rushing to market in January, plus 500 homes in Travis County. Active listings were up 300 homes because there were still some homes pending and selling. So there were new listings, plus 500 homes. Active listings on the market was plus 300 for January. And the average days on market were 85 days on market, up 5 days. That number has been trending for a while now. I'm looking back in June, July, August, it was hanging around 50 to 55 days, and then bang, October, November, December, days on market begins to increase. Okay, side disclaimer. Careful when you're talking to a professional as far as how long it takes a property to sell, because this number, 85 days for Travis County, sounds like a lot. It is, because people are pricing their home too high. Either sellers are being too stubborn or agents aren't being strong enough with the data or bringing data to them at all to understand what price will cause the property to sell. Because we see that when properties are priced right, initially, they'll sell within 30 days. Up until about 1.5 million, and then in the 1.5 million plus range, things start to change a little bit. So there is a disclaimer on that as well. But look, under $1.5 million, within 30 days, the property should sell. Now, properties that start too high, they want to try and start high. Ultimately, that only costs them more because the more time on market equals a more negative perception in the minds of the buyers as far as something being wrong with the property, the seller being motivated, and so sellers start chasing down the market. And once they get to the strike zone on a price range where buyers would consider making an offer, then as soon as they get to that price point, then the property sells within 30 days. So the total days on market, I want to get into this just for a second because total days on market, it can be skewed, and you really want to know what's actually happening with prices that cause offers to occur. All right, I'm off my soapbox on that. Let's jump into Williamson County. And for Williamson County, it is experiencing something a little bit different. The Travis County is the central metro area of the greater Austin area, and Williamson County incorporates a lot of the northern, smaller pocket cities around Austin: Round Rock, Hutto, Taylor, Georgetown, some parts of Cedar Park, and Liberty Hill. And so look, it's a little bit more rural. And so there's not as much demand and there's not a higher focus of concentration of sales occurring because it's just a little bit more spread out. And so what we're seeing in Williamson County, interestingly enough, is Williamson County's data has for the last couple of years been lagging a month or two behind. So this 9% depreciation that we saw in Travis County month over month from December to January still blows my mind. That's incredible, 9% depreciation. In Williamson County in December at median price point, $425,000. January 2024, $429,000. So we're up 4% in January, from December to January. That's up almost 1%, up almost 1%. And so we see this dichotomy, this fracture in identity of what's happening in Williamson County versus what's happening in Travis County. And if I had to bet, I'd probably say we're probably going to see, as we have over the last couple of years, Williamson County catch up to what's happening in Travis County. So there could be some depreciation on the way for Williamson County. Again, 9% from just December to January in Travis County. That's really quite remarkable. Okay, so for new listings to market, we're up 400, almost as many homes up in Williamson County as Travis County, up around 400 homes. New listings to market, active listings were up 200 homes, and 81 days on market, absolutely even with the prior month, 81 days on market. And again, the days on market is a indicator as far as how long a property will take to sell, with the disclaimer again that it takes within around 30 days for once the property's priced right for the property to sell. So that 81 days is taking into account again the fact that people are overpricing. And once they adjust their price, once they get to a price that buyers are attracted to, then they start showing up, then they start making offers. And the biggest mistake you can make as a seller, is to try and start high. It never has worked. It doesn't work in any market. In fact, if you remember when the market was cray-cray back in 2020 and 2021, it was not the properties that started high that sold for more. It was the properties that started at market value or aggressively lower that received multiple offer bids above and beyond and into outer space. I sold a property for $325,000 over the asking price. It wasn't even $1 million property. Why? Because when we had priced right, the price was aggressive and people got excited. Hey, look, that never goes away. And so it's a constant battle for me to be able to communicate and appease the egos and the fears of sellers that, look, starting high doesn't get you more money because it leaves you room to negotiate. Starting high puts you into the stratosphere where buyers aren't coming to your property more often, because how often do you shop for overpriced items? I mean, think about this, okay? No matter how beautiful the home is, if it's too high, people will not show up. People go see properties that are priced right, that they see have value, that they think is something that they would consider making an offer on because it's priced in the strike zone of reason. And so those are the properties that people show up to make offers on. And I'll tell you, the biggest mistake you can make is to try and start high when you're a seller. Okay, so we've talked about where we've been. We've talked about where we are. Where are we going? Look, if you're a seller and you don't have to sell, don't sell. If you don't have to sell, don't sell. This is not the time for you to sell if you don't have to sell. This market is for people who have to sell. They need to sell. They really want to sell, and those are the people that should be selling right now. But look, if you're waiting for the spring market, you could be waiting for more depreciation, because February numbers are not out yet, but February feels like January. And so if February numbers are like January, we're going to see some more depreciation. But look, hey, one more disclaimer. I don't know for sure because I don't have a crystal ball. But man, it's pretty interesting as we see more homes to market, the average days nudging upwards, that it's likely that February is going to see some more depreciation. So what does that mean? If you're a seller, you're waiting for March or April. Look, we're at the end of March, right? We're at the end of February right now. March is right here. March is spring. So if you're waiting for March, April, May, you could be waiting for a lesser value to start from for selling your home. So when should you sell? If you really want to move, if you have to move, you need to move. Look, get your property sold sooner, and it's still possible to sell for more if you're priced right. If you have the right marketing strategy and you're in the right relationship with a realtor who can bring the heat with creating more people coming through the door so that you increase the opportunities for more offers, because multiple offers still can happen with the right strategies for this market. Okay, so with a seller, should you sell right now? Only if you really have to, and you really need a good strategy to make that happen. So one more note on considering to sell is that if you're an investor and you can hold on to the property for another 2 or 3 years, then hold on, because this year's probably going to be a little bit more rocky with interest rates kind of hanging a little bit higher than they've normally been over the last few years, and the fact that the economy, there's a lot of uncertainty in the economy. We're hearing about layoffs, especially in the tech sector, which is fairly heavy here in the greater Austin, Texas area, that there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. And so this year's probably going to be a lot like last year until we see some movements on the rates down. And so look, holding 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, probably not going to benefit you. Okay, so here's what I'm telling my investors. Hold. Expect to hold at least 2 years. Holding 3 to 4 years could make more sense as far as maximizing the return of loss that you've experienced the last 18 to 24 months. So unless you're going to hold for a longer period of time and you can afford it and you're comfortable with it, you can make the payments, it's not a problem, you don't care, hold. All right, should you buy in this market right now? Now, there is lots of opportunity based off of buyer incentives from new home builders. Lots happening with new home builders. For properties that are priced too high, we saw average days on market 85 days for Travis County, 81 days for Williamson County. What does that tell us? Well, properties are starting too high, because properties that are priced right, once they get to a price that causes an offer to occur, properties sell within 30 days. That's just what's happening. Those are the facts of the market. And so because the average days on market is hanging closer to 3 months versus 1 month, then we know properties are overpriced. And so if you sit it out and wait it out, and you can see some really nice properties that are sitting there, and you have somebody who knows how to approach the listing agent to find out how to get a little bit more information, or how to do some pre-negotiations to find out what kind of deal you can really get on properties, there's opportunity opportunities out there, because we've already seen the biggest chunks of depreciation already gone in 2022, when we lost around 30% in as little as just a few months. And the last year, 2023, kind of bouncing up and down with just a little bit of appreciation by the end of the year. And 2024 probably going to look a little bit more like 2023, skidding across the bottom. And the overall economic outlook of Austin is great. Is diversity in economy and diversity in opportunity. And Elon Musk called this the single most important place for growth in the United States over the next 30 years. And so the demand is high. The expectations are high. The potential and the opportunity are high. Austin will be one of the most expensive cities to live in the country. Hands down. It's already expensive. Just ask the Texans who've been here for a long period of time. But I got news for you, Texans. It's going higher. It's going way higher, and you're going to hate it. And we're already seeing people who've lived here for a longer period of time, when Austin was a Sleepy Hollow, Texas town with the University of Austin, and they loved it, and it was small, moving outwards, just outside the outskirts of Austin, Texas, further out to places like Lampasas and Lockhart and Waco and Temple, and even further out to get away from all the madness, because it's getting more crowded, because it's getting more expensive. So the long-term outlook on Austin, Texas is opportunity and growth. So there will be appreciation here long term. There will be growth in demand, and it will only get much, much worse based on the quality, the qualifications of the buyers coming in, where you have couples making $500,000 to $1 million a year easily in the tech sector, and people that are easily making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 individually for their career paths and professions in the Austin area. And so, look, this is just the beginning of just how expensive it will really be here. And so if you're a buyer, let's loop this back around, is then now could be a good time to lock it down. Interest rates a little bit higher, I know. It's gonna go a little bit lower. How much lower? I mean, don't expect 3s and 4%. If that, 3 or 4% happens again, that would be a blessing, but I doubt it. I mean, those were just not real rates, and they were artificially held down by the government to be able to inflate the economy and get things going. And then, market inflated too much. We got to pull it back the other way. And then we saw just this ridiculous rate of increases in the interest rates that really was a mess that the government created. And so, look, the bottom line is that if you're a buyer, there's opportunity right now to be able to secure something, because rents are only going to get more expensive. They never go down. The payments for mortgage property values are only going to go up. So, hey, look, value's going up. The value of the dollar is going down. Value of properties are going up. And where should you put your money? You should put it in real estate. And you should invest in real estate for the long-term security and legacy of your family. And Austin, Texas is one of the best places probably in the world, in my opinion. And you should buy when it makes sense for you, when you can afford it, when you feel comfortable and you're not compromising yourself in a position to risk your life, to risk paying the fundamentals of your life, the affordability of your life. You shouldn't be putting yourself at risk on getting a mortgage to live month to month. You should be somewhat comfortable in that financial decision. Hey, like, subscribe, share. This is an opportunity for you guys to get boots on ground information for what's going on, because, man, the market's been crazy. It's been crazy then. The last 24 months, it's been crazy now. And where we're going, it probably is going to get crazier. Stay tuned.